about feeling a little bit annoyed, upset because you like milk. You talked about feeling depressed because you also like it and it's unfair. You are irritated and you're very worried because of the impact on your own family. So here's where we can talk about the circle of action and the things that you discussed, okay? So in circle of action, this is a way of us reflecting and thinking, what can I do to make a difference? So how can I contribute to improve the conditions for farmers? So what can you do in your inner circle, you've talked about, in your local community and beyond your community? So have a look to reflect on your notes for a minute, and then maybe let's talk about what things came up for you. And you can talk to each other, you don't have to just tell me one at a time, you can share one at a time. First, what is something you can do? If you love milk, what are you going to do about it to help the farmers?
I did to tell people about this issue so that they can be aware of it and they can do something about it.
So how do you think that might help the farmers? Expand on it a little bit.
Strike or something.
So who would strike?
The farmers, but they would be there to support them.
Okay, so you mean you would want to strike with them against making milk so that they don't get paid still for it, or?
No, so that they get the
regular
pay.
Okay, so like a protest in the city type.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of mine was creating a charity to raise money for the farmers that are going broke because of this and not getting enough money to live at home with that.
Okay.
Because if they don't have all the money, they'll lose their family business, they'll lose their shelter, and everything they'll lose.
Okay, so both of you are thinking about kind of making it known to everybody that this is happening and raising awareness. How about you boys?
One of my ideas were that we could have a cycling marathon in the CBD, and we could raise money and send that money as a donation to the farmers.
Okay.
To help them right now what they're doing, so they can still produce what they need, what they were previously doing, and
Okay, how about you, Jacob?
I have a soccer club and they sell boxes of chocolate that are $4 each, so I'll go around and fundraiser that and I'll sell some stuff.
Okay, because the chocolate has milk in it, or
No,
the money goes like you can't choose, the money goes to the farmers.
Yeah.
So when I read this circle of action, it says, what can I do? So what do you think is something that you can do? Because if I said to you today, I'd like you to go and do that inner circle thing, do you think it's something you can do?
Yes.
Quite easily?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's something that you could actually do? So is it something that you would consider doing now that you know about this actual issue that's happening?
Yeah, I'd consider it.
Okay. I challenge you guys to think about whether you can actually make this into an action. Because if we just talk about it, is it an action?
No.
No. So part of this is saying, what can I do today to improve the conditions for farmers in what's close by around me? So what can you do in your local community? What did you guys put for that?
Putting posters up and sending stuff in mailboxes, all for the same issue to get.
What about you, Akash?
Having a fun day with all all types of events and everyone participating.
I like to raise money. Is
Yeah.
that what you mean? Okay.
Mine was to tell others that are not familiar with this topic so they can get into action as well, and then we can build on to the other stages.
So you want to tell people what's happening. So by telling them what's happening, what do you hope they might do? So if you've told me, hey, Mrs. Delvin, we've got this problem with dairy farmers. I want to tell you about it, and I've seen your posters, I've been to your fun day, but what can I do by knowing about it? Something that I can do right today after work if I went home.
I actually don't know.
Okay, have a think. If I went to the shops today, what could I do?
Pay extra.
Pay extra and say
Give a tip and say that it's for the dairy farmers, and whenever they get milk from those places, they can say that someone's given that money for you and they can keep it.
Yeah, it's true. Lots of different ways.
Yeah.
Write a little description in the milk area where you buy it from the
Saying like what's
supermarket.
happening.
Yeah.
Do you think it would help farmers if I stopped buying milk? Or do you think it would help them if I kept doing or buying dairy products? What do you think?
Probably stopping.
So how would it help them if I'm not buying anything? So they don't have money as it is, they're getting less for the milk they sell. So if they stop selling it, do you think that would help them? If
Actually,
one
no.
was buying it?
Because we'll have to buy it because if they stop selling it, they'll have to pay the big products like the big companies like Fonterra, and they're not producing anything. So basically, they're descending in their money amount. Like, yeah,
So what would be better then for me to do?
to purchase.
Okay.
But you could also stop in another way.
Okay, tell me how.
You can stop because, like, if you stop them, I think the other bigger companies will be aware that no one's buying it and then that they can't get a profit from it either. So then if they don't get a profit either, they're probably going to pay the farmers right.
Okay. Almost like a standoff saying, we don't want the companies to get the money, and so they're not getting the money either, and that might force them to then pay more to the farmers so that people start buying. Almost like a strike, but in a different way. Okay. So how could you improve conditions beyond your local community? So not just here within your family or in your local, say, school, if that was the inner circle, not just in the local area in Melbourne or even Caroline Springs, Hillside, Taylor's Hill. How about beyond Melbourne, even beyond Australia? What could you do? Or even Australia-wide?
Post it on social media.
And do what with it? Tell me what you wrote. Is that what you wrote?
Yeah, so that
Okay.
people can like start donating or something. So be like, if you post it, then be like, okay, go to this website and donate about like $2 because that much would count as well.
Yeah.
So then
Create an organization.
so then people
Okay.
would.
Like a foundation, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you say?
Yeah, mine was a charity like Help Tanisha was saying
Okay.
to do it like that.
And that then long term probably might help keep them okay when they have
Yeah.
difficulties.
Yeah.
How about you guys? What did you say?
Mine was the marathon one.
Okay, so that was your big
Yeah.
global
Yeah.
thing. Okay. Anything else you want to tell me about Circle of Action and how you can improve the conditions for farmers that you might have thought about since you talked to Mrs. England the first time? Anything new that's come up for you that you've gone, oh, actually, I could do this. Like I've been thinking, I don't buy milk very often, but maybe I should start buying it just to help them out, even though I don't usually buy it. Have you thought of anything else that you could do?
I've got an idea. Maybe actually go, like for school children, go to where they do the milking and all that to see how much work they put in, so they can know that they should help them out.
Yeah, so they can kind of see how much work's involved.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to your grandma's uncle's farm or dairy?
No, not
Has
yet.
your mum or dad been there before?
My mum's been there a lot when she was really young.
Has she ever talked to you about what life was like there for grandma? I think it's your grandma's uncle?
My grandma's brother.
Your grandma's brother.
Yeah. Well, my mum used to go up to the country every school holidays when she was little. It was very plain and like mostly filled with animals, and like they would always have to work.
Did she ever talk about what the work was like? Was it easy, hard?
She said it was mostly like medium. Like once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy, but it's a lot
Yeah. So they do a lot of work.
for such a little pay.
Yeah. And we take for granted because we like milkshakes and Milo, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, but without it, it'd be a bit sad if you just have almond milk all the time.
Yeah.
What if you don't like almond milk or soy milk? Exactly. Anything else that you guys have thought about?
You had one, Jacob.
I know.
It's all right. I'll give you a minute to have a think.
after dinner, maybe you should buy milk so you can have dessert.
Well, that would be great for kids, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think we might have a plan for mums and dads. An argument for
Yeah.
dessert every night.
To help dairy farmers.
Well, because you'll be buying more, won't you? You'll have to think of all the recipes you need milk for. I think
That's
Kate,
like-
Because milk is like the main product in dessert.
Yeah.
it is, isn't it? It's quite true. Thank you, guys. I think unless there's anything else, we might stop filming. Have you enjoyed talking about this?
Yeah, it's good to know what's happening in your
Yeah, the
country.
current
It
affairs.
is, isn't it? It is good, and it's also good to realise that you can do something about it.
Yeah.
I can't go and buy $1 million worth of milk. What would I do with it? But I can start going, I used to buy 1 litre, maybe I'll buy 2 or 3 and some yogurt and chuck in a few box of cheese, and maybe that will help. Everyone does their little bit, or doing a strike, or raising awareness, having an activity. But you actually can do it. Don't let grown-ups stop you.
They can do.
They can, but don't let them. Don't let them stop you from making good choices to help the world improve. Like your idea about having like a marathon. Nothing stops you, no matter how young you are, from doing that. Even if a grown-up goes, oh, it might be a bit hard for you, don't ever let us stop you from having a go at changing the world, okay? So if you think of one of your actions, you might choose to go, I might give this a go. I might see one of them and choose to do them and see what happens. Be interested to see what you could find out. Don't let us